Gentlemen, I welcome you all to this economics debate which will talk about the equilibrium rate of interest. To know more of this topic, we have two economists with us today. We have the Keynesians and the monetarists which will bring more light on the topic of the day. Good day once more, Mr. Keynes. What do you have to say about the topic of the day?
I will begin by defining demand for money. Demand for money in liquid form or in cash. People demand for money for speculative motive. That is, they demand for money to carry out business in the stock exchange market. It depends on the rate of interest and, and is considered by idle balances.
When the demand for money is with desire to invest, and like Kenny said, it depends on the rate of interest. But if both of our ideas depend on the rate of interest, then why this debate?
The speculative motive depends on the rate of interest. We have other reasons why people demand for money, like the transactionary motive. Yeah, people demand for money in order to pay for their day-to-day necessities like food and shelter, and also the precautionary motive, where people demand for money in order to prepare themselves for unforeseen circumstances like sickness. They both make up active balances and don't depend on the rate of interest.
I have a question for Kenyans.
Go ahead.
If it doesn't depend on the rate of interest, then on what do they depend on?
That is a good question, Mr. Friedman. Well, the active balances are determined by the level of income, the price level, and the real GDP.
Anything to add?
The supply of money is determined by the monetary authorities and it's fixed, and so it doesn't depend on the rate of interest.
Well, I said that supply of money depends on the rate of interest. Since the supply of money comes from people who save money to earn higher interest.
If interest rates were extremely low, people and firms want to hold any new money as speculative balance. They will not buy bonds with it, but will just sit on it. They will not spend it or make it available to anyone. The higher the interest rate, the better it is for people to store wealth in the form of bonds rather than in liquid cash. The demand for speculative balances is therefore inversely related to the rate of interest.
But also, investors will only purchase more capital if the interest rate falls. This implies an inverse relationship between the demand of loanable fund and rate of interest. So, the supply of loanable fund varies directly with the rate of interest. Because at higher rate of interest, more people will postpone current consumption in return for higher future consumption.
Kenyans, anything to say before I end the debate?
People want to hold on to their money because the interest earning of on money would be negligible. If the money invested in bond, and also because capital losses would be heavy as interest rates start rising again. Thank you.
That being said, brings us to the end of our debate. Well, the Keynesians had their own view on the interest rate determination, while the monetarists had theirs, which makes it quite confusing for one to choose a side. Although this debate was a very tough one, we all heard how they beautifully explained their point to prove one wrong. Thanks for listening till the end.